And his wife, when we were part of a different, more of a lead space group several years ago, and I got to see at that time the quality of work that he and his wife produce. It's top notch in my opinion, and he, I believe, has a portfolio still of some of the stuff he can show you. So I really encourage you that when you do a one-on-one with him, if you haven't done so already, ask for his portfolio, because I think you can see the quality that we're talking about. It's not something that you can do yourself by any stretch of the imagination. But today he's going to come up and give us a little talk on how the do's and don'ts of when you put yourself out on the web, which is really important because once it's gone viral, you can't really take it back. So why don't we welcome, everybody stand up. We can get our exercise too. And why don't we welcome Ludo to the front of the room.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm appreciating having the opportunity to speak to you today. I want to introduce myself a little bit. I was born at an early age in the Netherlands, so I'm Dutch, hence my accent. And some handout, if somebody can help me with the handouts. So, one of the things that I think I sent a little bio out that I graduated from my university in the Netherlands, came to the United States, actually co-founder of a startup in Chicago, and then went into corporate America for another couple of decades, after which I escaped and started my own business. Voice is a little trembling, so I apologize for that. It's been a while since I've given presentations like that, so bear with me.
Don't mind, we're good.
I know, good. So,
we're user-friendly.
But one little fact, though, I actually played soccer professionally, semi-professionally. So I have a real passion for that. Passion is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I came to the United States and I had my little daughter, and when she could walk, guess what? We were kicking balls around in the backyard. Because she was going to be my little soccer player, right? So when she was 4 or 5, we actually got her into recreational soccer, and I coached West Valley Soccer League with her, and all exciting, she was in a jersey, her shin guards, her cleats, and I said, oh, she's going to be a superstar, right? So here I'm coaching, and here we got the scrimmage going on, all the players there around the ball, and guess what? I was on his way over there, picking flowers. Needless to say, she didn't have a passion for it, but I'm happy to say she's 10 years old now, she's in 5th grade, she's a star athlete. She's a basketball player. She outswims boys in the 6th and 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
She's phenomenal. So she developed a passion, and that's what it's all about in life. And it's the passion that got me out of corporate America to start my business full time. Dania had already done that about 10 years earlier, so I then teamed up with her. So we have what's called a website development and media production business. She does the website development piece. I complement it with the media production component. And those two then provide basically the optimal solution for individual small business owners to have the optimal web presence. Because that's all about, if you're business for yourself, you got to have strong marketing, online presence. That's what I want to talk about a little bit today, all the details around that. So it's all about communication. If you're business for yourself, is how do you effectively communicate yourself out there with your potential clients. And that's why I always pride myself to really sit down with potential clients to really get to know them, get to like them, get to understand them, get to understand their business, and have them understand their business as well. So I help them coach through their business model in a lot of cases. What is your value proposition? Big word for what value do you add to the client? Things like that. What is your target audience? If you're in business for yourself, a lot of people think, well, everybody is my potential client, especially in sales. Instead, you have to really work hard on to really figure out who's your target audience, because now you have to then develop your brand, your image, that connects you, your business, your service, your product with those potential clients. Those are the kind of things we help with. So then you get into the technology piece after we work, and we do this all for free. We sit down, we really consult and counsel with our clients about getting that right, because I want to know their business, and I want them to know their business. Then and only then can we provide quality product to them. All right. Then if you get into the media production components, what are all the components out there? Well, of course, website development. That's so key, online presence. The best thing you can have is this powerful website, okay? That really gets you out there. The second best thing is an okay website. The worst thing is no website. It's so important this day and age. So website development. Dania is actually going to give a presentation next week in San Jose at the GNA meeting, and really gets into the details and nuts and bolts of websites, what's important, how's it changing. But I'll give you a little bit of an overview. What's important on the website right now? Relevancy. In the early days, it was all about keywords, you know, and all had the right phrasing, the right wording in there. That has gone by the wayside. Google and Yahoo, all these search engines are looking for relevance. What is relevance? Relevance is how important is your website in your particular line of business, and that is defined by how many outside links come into your website, how many connections are coming into your website, and you have a lot of control over that. Everybody's on Facebook. Make sure your Facebook is linked back to your website. Okay? You're part of professional organizations. Make sure that your professional organizations are linked back to your website. You're part of a chamber of commerce. Make sure that the chamber of commerce entry is linked back to your website. That all helps you boost your business presence. And that's what it's all about. Okay? So all the social media integration. Okay, so we help with website design, but we're not looking at just a pretty page. Okay? A lot of graphic designers call themselves web designers. We look at the actual content that goes behind it. How do you build a solid website that also can expand over time? Say you want to add a shopping cart. You've got to have a solid foundation. You can't just bolt it onto the back. So those are all the components that you talk to a web designer, ask all those questions. Can you do backhand? Can you do SQL? Can you do those kind of things? Or is it just graphic design? How about search engine optimization? Do you know what that is? Can you do that? Okay. Do you know what the latest trends are that Google and Yahoo are looking for? Are you staying up with that? Are you familiar with social media integration? That's all questions to ask. Okay, the other component is video production. Video is so important. I'm going to have a whole section on that. I'm going to talk about that. And I mentioned photography and graphic design, which is all part of having a solid brand, because it's all about branding out there. You got to get a brand, a consistent brand that goes across all your appearances in front of your clients, from business cards, brochures, letterhead, to website, to social media. Okay, so you have to establish a brand, whether it's a logo or just an image and appearance, but it has to be consistent. Whether it's color scheme, what have you. Okay. And photography, commercial photography is so important too, as part of providing a service to the client. If you're an interior decorator, you need a commercial photographer to really show off your quality work. Okay, you need to showcase that. That is your product out there, basically. You don't just go in there with a point-and-shoot camera and just do yourself. That's right out there. If you're in the product business, showcasing products, especially jewelry, is very hard to really show off and showcase. Look at some cool painters. That is a real nightmare to show off some full paint. You know, all this washes out when you take photos. Okay, but that's important stuff. But let me move on to the next part, which is video. Why is video so important? Well, video is right now the most important rich media out there. It started off in the early days text, right? You only got text online. Then it was texting, graphics, and a lot of photos to it. Awesome. Audio became another component, but right now it's really video. Now I'm preaching to the choir here because GNA is using video really, to its fullest extent. But there are a lot of opportunities, additional opportunities for using video. Okay? There are different types, and I listed them here. You can see, like a profile video, introduce your business, give a little business overview on the video. Personal introduction. A message from the CEO. Things like that. Put it on your website. How-to videos. You do that for fitness experts, and they're showing up like how to use a pedometer, for example, things like that. But any type of how-to. Create some interest for your clients, for potential clients. But again, it adds visibility to your website. FAQs, tips and tricks, maybe updates. In the real estate, have like a monthly update on what's going on, what listings are out there, things like that. If you're an IT person, tip of the week. very powerful. Events, keynote speeches, seminars. Seminars is an important thing too, because if you put so much effort into putting on the seminar, took the effort, the time, you put it on, you got all the people there, and the seminar's over, and that's it. Why not tape it? Videotape it. You then have it available. You know, as an archive on your website, you can even make it available for a charge. There was some real valuable information conveyed in that seminar. You could have a nominal fee to download it. News, testimonials, I'm going to drill into a little deeper. Very important. Video testimonials, digital signage, video signage. Now, characteristics. I don't want to bore people to death with a drawn out talking head video. So, you know, you want to keep it entertaining, crisp, quick, to the point, you know, with proper editing, and, you know, 1 to 3 minutes on the average. And not to convey a whole bunch of information. Very effective. Unless you talk about the seminar, okay, you talk about half hour, which I do the seminars, okay? You want to tell a story. It has to have a beginning, middle, and an end. You know, and it could be educational, could be entertaining, could be informational, or it even could be shocking. Create a shock effect, just to get your attention, you know. The world will end at 10 p.m. tonight. Movie at 11. Okay. Of course, what's the lighting? And I always ask people, you know, what do you think is the biggest problem with most videos out there on the web?
Sound.
It's actually the sound. Exactly, it's the sound. If you can't hear that person, if you can't hear that person, and the video's really nice, if you can't hear him, you check out. I'm gone. Okay. So invest in these little clip-on microphones, little wires, plug into each camera, and you get the good quality sound. Very important. Okay. And yeah, again, represent your brand in your video. And the most important thing is, and this is in a lot of videos, call to action. At the end, leave a message out there. You know, for a free consultation, call so-and-so. Go for more information to these URLs. And then there are many ways to distribute it. Easily upload it to Facebook, obviously. You see tons on there. A more professional level is a channel, a professional channel on YouTube, where you can put all your videos basically nicely organized. You don't get lost in the sea of YouTube videos. You can embed them in your website. It's very easy. YouTube embed code is all there for you to have your webmaster do it on your website. Very straightforward. And then there are a lot of different places to publish a video. That again has the power that these videos are linking back to your website again and again. All these exposure that you have raise your relevance, prospective relevance. And podcast, audio is still there. A lot of people broadcast little tidbits of information on a regular basis. Just there, you can post them through iTunes. Have a little, tip of the month. Let's talk about the video testimonials. Video testimonials are incredibly important because they show up the value of your organization, but it's done not by you, it's done through your clients. Incredible clients that you have. And you're not selling your potential clients to your clients. Basically what you're sharing with them is how you can solve their problem. So I will say, don't sell, solve. Don't sell your clients, solve the problem for your clients. They don't want to hear how good you are. They want to hear how you can solve their problem. And then pick your ideal customer. Who represents your client base, your customer base? And take that ideal customer as your testimony, the person that you report a testimony. So people will relate to that, and that goes back to your target audience. Pick them as that target audience. Have that person represent your business. And if I do it, I always like to do it in a sort of an interview style. I don't like people talking into the camera. That again comes across a little still. I have them talk off camera, either to a real person or an imaginary person, but a person's talking off camera. So your point of view is basically looking at the person talking to somebody confidentially about a great experience they had, getting the service. And you, as a observer, are not being talked to, you're listening in. So you're listening, you say, hey, that's my cross. You know, I relate to that. You know, you don't get this Billy Mays effect, you know, talking over on your face. You know? So the key is really authenticity. It's got to be come across honest and real. And I can keep concise. My recommendations don't have them longer than 90 seconds. You can't say it in 90 seconds. All right. And then it's always good to have at least one, but multiple testimonies is great. And go through different places on the website. So people will maybe every page has so the curious might move to the website. Okay, come on, start doing it. 5 minutes, yeah. Well, I'm not going to go to all the details in this next sheet, but anybody who is technical here who really uses their iPhones for videos, but is frustrated with the fact that the quality is always relatively poor. You know, here are a lot of tips and tricks as to what you can do with apps to really improve. You get some of the capabilities like the changing zoom, shutter speed, and the aperture, all the things that are necessary. So there are a whole bunch of things here. We'll look at that. We'll just throw them in. And editor. Editing is so important. You know, all this raw video is edited. You know, I love editing because, you know, it gives you a chance to tell that story. You know, put the titles in there and really get a message across versus, you know, just 30 minutes of raw video. Okay, the next page is 8 digital alternatives to paper business cards. Won't go into all the details here, but this is a new trend. I think the paper business cards at some point will go away as we go more to smartphones and stuff like that. So we carry our business cards around in electronic form. And here are a couple of different things. There's a website called W Now. It creates a digital edition of your business card. You can all use those. It's all free stuff. Take a look at it. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. So you can just read one, you know, from one iPhone to the other business card. It goes into your edit book, sync it up, it's in your Outlook. And then here is a little etiquette session. So I said, 10 business emails you absolutely shouldn't send. Okay. Yeah, one of them is, you know, all caps. You've got emails, all caps. It's yelling, you know, it's yelling in your face. So, and the kindergarten, kindergarten fonts. Most of you have heard that story about LeBron James who left the Cavaliers to go to Miami, and then the team owner, you know, he blasted his email out. He did it in his really funky font. You know, he lost the whole point. He got this really silly font in his email. So, you got to be careful. Misnomers, always spell your client's name correctly. And then, you know, enough of these little smiley faces, you know? Like, people like to go bonkers with those things, especially the animated ones. The little animated GIF ones. Yeah, you want to really hold up on that. Openly informal greetings, also not always appropriate, like, yo, dude, you know? How about a one-on-one? Rambling, you don't get to the point. If I get an email that's longer than one paragraph, unless it's really something I need to come to the end of it, it's longer than one paragraph, I go, okay, I'm done. Unclear subject lines. Yeah, I get to the point. It's just like when you call somebody up, follow-up call, whatever, tell them why you're calling. Same thing with emails. Put it in the subject line. Why am I sending you an email? Because I don't know about you guys. We'll get tons of emails, right? Reams of emails. And if I can immediately tell them the subject line, oh, this is important, and I go here. If it's just a generic thing, like I, or like, all right, sending too many emails in a row. Well, there's a whole silly thing in corporate America. People that send me emails, before I even hit my inbox, they were already standing in my doorway. They should come in. They would do that. So give it some time before people that I do. apart and us there. The last point actually is less true. Never message with business contact on Facebook. That used to be the case because Facebook had this reputation of, Wild West, loosey-goosey, not very serious environment. But that has changed over the past days.
But I have to say, you emailed me in response to, so I emailed you via Facebook, and he actually connected with me and emailed to my email address about the presentation, and I was actually really impressed. I was like, impressive. It's just, yeah, it definitely came away as you're here.
Yeah.
Professional.
I got your business card, got your email address. That's the important thing. Websites, email addresses. So that's pretty much that. I'll skip over the next one. You can take a look at that. That's a pre-presentation alternatives to PowerPoint. I'm not sure how many people have phones to PowerPoint. Who knows what this is?
QR
code. QR, right? Yeah. So, these days, you can actually create your own QRs right now on your smartphone, cell phone. It's a great tool to have because you can integrate it with, the media that you have out there. Funny story, I was in a restaurant the other day. This lady comes in, she's a very professional, sharp-looking lady. She was wheelchair bound. She sits at her table there, and there's a QR on the back of her wheelchair. So I get my phone. Find out, you can go to a website, her name, she was a local realtor, an independent realtor. Someone who walked up, hi Victoria, I was going to your local realtor too. And QR. We made a connection, Grace got I was looking for an independent realtor. So we made a connection. I got her card, she got her card. She didn't count on that. Take it in. Anyway, I think that's pretty much what I have. So, any questions? Yep. Your app. There's an app that you can download, and the app actually, and you can mail it to yourself. Okay. And the QR can be the URL of your website. It can be a link to your Facebook, a LinkedIn account. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can put in there, whatever you want the client to see when they click on it. So it doesn't just have to be a website, but there can be a whole bunch of other stuff too. Yeah.
And where do you put it? Where would you put those?
Oh, you can put it
business card
on your brochures. You can put it on the car, on your car.
On your car.
Yeah. Anywhere. Look for them now. You see them everywhere. You see them on buses. You see them on storefronts.
chocolate chocolate bars.
Any others? Yep.
I missed the part about the electronic business card.
Right.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a business card in electronic form, basically. So basically, it's on your cell phone. So you can send it from one cell phone to another cell phone. So you don't have to physically exchange.
Is it something that you scan and put on your smartphone?
No, you can create it through some of these websites. These websites have ways of getting your business card in there or your business card information. Some even have templates, so you can lay out your own cards. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not so much a question, but it's really about media on social media. I built 3 websites, very successful over the years, nothing but media on social media. So everything we keep talking about, I am personally telling you, listen to what you say, what you're talking about. I built very, very successful businesses off of music services, and I know exactly what you say. So we're smart.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Back there. Yeah.
Ik wil weten of je gewoon kan praten.
Ja, ik spreek met de hond.
Ja, ik ben gewoon voor.
Ja, waar het heeft today.
Ja, ik ken het tijd voor. Gewoon. Ja.
Okay.
One-on-one. I have a little remnant of a black eye. Somebody asked me, how did you do that? I said, well, I just one-on-one with each person. Roosevelt, he was told he should make eye contact. All right, thanks, Daddy.
Very good.